All right, guys. So, um, we can see that NQ has been dropping overnight. We are still inside of this range that we were trading in yesterday. Again, today is the day before FOMC, and we only have really one news event today, which is 10-year bond auction, which is a orange folder event at 1:01 p.m. Eastern. So, not too much going on. Okay, so I have my Asia high and low charted out, 7 p.m. Eastern and 7:45, or actually it's 7:30 Eastern. That was our Asia range, and then we created our London session highs and lows up here at 2 a.m. We can see that we swept Asia highs, and then we've been dropping all night ever since. Um, so down to 4:45 is that London low. All right, so we got our London high, our London low. We can see now we've swept London low, and we've kind of been heading up a little bit. Let's go back to a daily. I want you guys to look at this daily time frame, if it will work for me. Okay, so on a daily time frame, I got yesterday's high charted out, and I got yesterday's low charted out. All right, on a daily bias level, I would assume that longs are going to continue to step in. We're near all-time highs again. We have this daily imbalance below. We're creating this daily order block. Strong up closed candle yesterday. Right, I would expect on a technical analysis level that longs are going to continue based off of that daily time frame. And then we go down to a 4 hour, and we can see this 4 hour range that we've been trading in. Right, from these highs to these lows. Yesterday did not break either that range at all. So today I want to see if we're going to try to break through the range. I don't know if we're going to. I don't know if we're going to get enough expansion today to see a breakthrough of the range. We might just kind of see another ranging type of day, honestly, when we don't have much news. And we have FOMC coming out tomorrow. We might see more ranging again. So we have to be aware of that. 1 hour time frame. So right now we're kind of pumping, right? We're forming that opening range for that first 15 minutes. Sorry guys, my computer is bugging out on me here. Same thing over here though on ES on that 15 minute. We got that Asia high at the same time, Asia low. A little bit later at 9:15. London high up here, 2:30, and then London low down here at 4:45. Can see we're getting some divergence right now between ES and NQ. But down on that 1 hour, we can see we traded back into this 1 hour imbalance down below. And now we're kind of in this 1 hour bearish imbalance, but it looks like we're trying to push through. Almost like a power of three looking setup on the 1 hour if price continues up. Right, still, we can still see that over here, price still respected this hourly imbalance on the left side over here. Okay, so we have, obviously when we're in a range like this, we have imbalances to the upside, to the downside. So we pretty much just have to wait for us to break through one. We can see right now that we are really pumping here at market open. Man, what is going on? So we're really pumping on market open. These longs are starting to step in. Let's see if this is just a nice little Judas swing or if this is going to be our actual move. Yeah, sorry guys, I don't know what's, my trading view is bugging out right now. Hopefully it'll start loading a little bit more here. I just have to reload it here. Okay, so we got that. Let's pull up ES again. Alright, so on a 5 minute time frame, okay, we see that first 5 minute candle open up very bullish. We break out, we displace the highs. Okay, so we have buy side liquidity up top. We've got all these highs. We got Asia high already has been swept. We have London high, and we have yesterday's high. Okay, but we have to be aware of a possible Judas swing at market open where we get that fake out move to the upside, and then we actually end up coming down. On the 15-minute, we have the small imbalance here. But again, let's see. We're forming a little low, high, lower, low. Displacement of the high. If we displace this high, it's a little bit of a 15-minute bullish breaker here. Right? And if we form that in the next 9 minutes, looks like we're going to try to continue to head up. Looks like we're trying to continue to head up here. A lot of divergence here down at the lows. You can see ES is still down here. Sweeping, ES swept the lows while NQ swept the highs at market open. So major divergence there. Now I want to look at the VIX as well. See what the VIX is doing. VIX is dropping right now. And then let's look at YM. And YM is dumping really hard right now as well. So we got ES and YM dumping while NQ is pumping. So this might be a little bit of a fake out move on NQ. Maybe NQ is coming to sweep the highs. You guys know I like to give it pretty much the first 15 minutes of open before I start getting into a trade. It just depends on the day. There's certain days where I will take a trade before 10:45, but I typically like to give it some time. Typically like to give it some time before I start getting into a trade. You know, create that opening range, that first 15-minute candle. Again, we've created this 1 minute imbalance here. Bullish imbalance. We're bouncing off VWAP. But when I see ES and YM dumping very aggressively while NQ is grabbing buy-side liquidity, it doesn't make me want to jump in the longs just yet. Doesn't make me want to jump in the longs just yet. So a lot of divergence. It makes me kind of want to wait for some confirmation, wait to see what direction NQ really wants to go. Because we could see NQ really start to drop. Again, my overall daily bias is always going to be bullish when we come into this with technical analysis when we come into this type of day. But again, I'm starting to think NQ is looking pretty bearish here. Looks like we're going to start trying to take out lows. So I might even start to look for shorts pretty soon here. Yeah, we did tap into that 15-minute up here on NQ. Yeah, look at that Judas swing. I think we're really going to start to break to the downside. So I'm going to start looking for a short setup here. Right, targeting these lows. We got a lot of, obviously we have a lot of sell side liquidity to be taken. We just want to be careful today of ranging. Like I said, we might see a lot of ranging today. We might not see a lot of expansion. So far, pretty good movement in the market though. I'm really just waiting for a clean setup at this point to take us down to the lows. Seeing ES and YM drop like that makes me want to start looking short. Now we see the VIX is pumping a little bit. So now it's just about finding the right entry. So again, I'm looking for shorts now. After seeing that Judas swing, after seeing YM and ES dump pretty hard, after seeing the 5-minute come back down like that. Let's see if we want to form some type of fair value gap here on the 1 minute. Like up here. Let's see if we want to trade into it. Okay, so I'm starting to look for shorts. Okay, we have this gap above. We just traded into. If we start to see a nice reaction, I'm going to start looking to short. Okay, I want to be careful though. I'm not just trusting the 1 minute completely. Okay, we still are only a few minutes after market open. We're still a little volatile. So I want to start looking for shorts, but I have to see a lot of reaction. A lot of reaction to the downside here. Okay, I'm going to test out the shorts here with half a lot, guys. I'm going to test them out. My fills keep getting really low. Again, after seeing YM and ES like that, dumping so aggressively, I'm willing to give this one a shot. I'm willing to test it out before waiting for 15 minutes. Keep getting filled pretty low. 6.2. 2.5 filled me almost at the bottom. So, again, we're seeing us not really respect that imbalance. We're trying to push above a VWAP here. I'm going to keep a 50 tick stop and I'm out. I'm out. So that's why, just trying to test it out real quick. And we can see that we just wanted to come right back up. So we might try to range a little bit. We might try to range. But again, I was willing to give those ones a shot with just half a lot. Remember, guys, I'm sizing down overall. Yeah, I mean, it's SMT, but when I see ES and YM dumping that aggressively, and then I start to see the VIX start to pump, and I see we get a Judas swing on NQ where we fake out to the upside and then we start to drop, it makes me want to start looking for shorts. So again, I was willing to take that risk there to see if those shorts wanted to come in, and they didn't want to come in. So half a lot, quick loss, no biggie. Sizing down. So let's see what happens here. I'll give it, and now I'll wait for this 15-minute candle to close, wait for this range to be set up, and then we'll wait to see if we're going to get a break out of the range on either side. And now if we do try to create that 15-minute bullish breaker, right, it might change my idea a little bit. Might change my idea a little bit here. So we're still struggling to really break through the upside. We can see we traded up into this imbalance up above. Kind of closed above that imbalance. Let's look at the 2-minute here. No imbalance there. So now I'm just gonna give it. Now I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give it some time. Again, guys, only down like $230. Down $230 from that. Very willing to risk $230 for that type of trade when there was that kind of reward on the table. So we're gonna have this 15-minute close in about 1 minute. Let's see how the 15-minute candle wants to close. Again, ES is still dumping aggressively. When I see ES dumping this aggressively with no up movement, I want to see NQ start to follow. When I see YM doing the same thing, I want to see NQ start to follow. It looks like these shorts are still trying to come in. And look at that. Look at that aggressive drop. It really looks like NQ is trying to do the same thing here. We're just still a little bit volatile. Again, though, we're just kind of ranging up and down. We're creating that 15-minute opening range. Right, with that first 15-minute candle. So now we just closed. We're still looking very bearish here. Let's see if we want to break out to the downside of that opening range here. And if we can break out of that range, I'll still be looking for shorts. But if we can't break out of the range, I'm just going to wait for us to pick a direction. I don't want us to just range up and down. Again, that it's kind of likely that we do range up and down today. But I at least want to see us go, make one type of move here. Go sweep some liquidity. Maybe sweep some external liquidity one time. Kind of like yesterday. I don't think we're gonna expand as much as we did yesterday, but I still think there's a possibility that we go try to grab some liquidity, more external liquidity. So ES still has not moved up whatsoever. So we do have the SMT right at the lows, but YM and ES are really, really dumping, and the VIX is pumping. pretty aggressively here, so I still want to see the shorts come in. It's just about finding the right entry here. Right, because we're still moving a lot. Again, if we start to break out of this range, so when you can think about shorting, but I want to be careful about shorting at the bottom, right? I don't like to short at the bottom, but as we start to break out of that opening range, that's when you're starting to think about taking shorts, right? Which is this low down here, right? This is when you start to think about taking shorts. Right now, right? So I'm not in, but again, like I said, look at those shorts coming in right when we broke out of that opening range. So we went and grabbed that liquidity. Now let's see if we're going to get a continuation to the downside. Right, so that one was just timing. We wanted to wait a little bit before going down to grab that sell side liquidity. We've got a lot of sell side liquidity to be taken. Really looks like the market's trying to move down here, creating a bearish breaker on the 5-minute. Right, so that's that opening range trade I talked about yesterday as well. We see us break out of the bottom of that 15-minute candle. You could think about shorting right as we break that range. Right, again, I don't like to short off a breakout, but that is one of those, sometimes I will trade that breakout. Right, so now we're just running away. I don't know if anybody is still in the shorts or got a re-entry or got an entry off the break of that range, like I said. Hopefully some of you did. Again, not really looking personally to trade the breakout, but we did see that coming. We did see that move coming from the start. Right, we were setting up the shorts this whole time. Shorts were being set up. So now we've got that external level. Let's see if NQ really wants to expand and take out external lows. Yeah, we are into that bullish order block down below on the hourly. Right, so now we have to see if we're just going to range back and forth or if we're actually going to get some type of external liquidity run here down to these lows. Okay, order block, fair value gap. Shorts could be another good entry from here. Just don't trust the 1 minute as much right now. I don't trust that we're hitting a higher time frame order block below. But it looks like these shorts are still trying to step in here, guys. Like I said, if you want to get that short entry, still an opportunity here. You really catch it down to the low of that previous candle, the 1 minute order block, and then down to the external low. So still an entry opportunity there. We're about to close this 5 minute candle. See if we close with some displacement. Create this high, low, higher, high displacement of the low. That's that 5 minute bearish breaker. I got that lowest down close candle. Right there. So that's our bearish breaker right there. We just formed. Two-minute imbalance above. That's the external low I was talking about, is yesterday's low. I do think we're going to target that. After seeing that aggressive drop, I think we're going to go target that low. Okay, we got that 2-minute imbalance above. 5 minute bearish breaker. We'll see if we can get some retracement for us to be able to catch a good short here. We might just drop from here, guys. We might not even get that retracement. And I don't want to get an entry down here. I want to see if we're gonna trade up a little bit, get an entry off that 2-minute imbalance above, or even see if we trade up into that 5 minute bearish breaker. Okay, so we're trading into that 2 minute now. We're almost in that 2 minute imbalance. Let's see what kind of reaction we get here. We start to get a nice reaction. I'll look for shorts again. just want to be careful just in case the 5 minute wants to trade up and retest that or test that 5 minute bearish breaker. Right, don't want to get too low of an entry. Really want to trust that 5 minute time frame. Right, the other thing that we could be doing, we could be setting up a 5 minute order block just below the 5 minute bearish breaker. Unicorn entry could be really good. Right, that's why I don't want to just jump into an entry too soon, especially when we're bouncing off a higher time frame order block down below. Alright, so we just want to be aware of that. I want to get the right entry here. So we still have like about 2.5 minutes until the 5 minute closes. Right, you could get that short entry here. I'm still waiting to see if we're going to get a reaction. Right, we displaced our previous candle to the upside. No, I'm not in anything yet. Not anything right now. Right, this would be an ideal entry for me, is if we form this 5 minute order block, we trade up above it, we test that unicorn model there. Right, we get a reaction off that 5 minute, perfect short opportunity. Again, this is still a short opportunity here. I just don't trust it as much as waiting for the 5 minute. We are starting to see that reaction back down. You could get that short entry here. I really want to wait for that 5 minute candle to close. Well, it could be a liquidity grab. It could be, but we still have that external low. We still have our external low. I still think NQ might be trying to go grab that. And the VIX is still really pushing. I still think these shorts are trying to come in here. They might drop again right now, guys. Like I said, this would be another entry up here. I just wasn't ready to take that entry up here. But look at that. Right? Look at those shorts still coming in here. So if you did get that entry, that's that first TP level at that low. Alright, you could scalp it, just get out completely, or you could try to hold down to the external low down below. Alright, I really wanted to wait and see if that 5 minute was going to form an order block here. Which we did not want to form. We really just wanted to keep dropping. Right, so this is what I was talking about, that 2 minute fair value gap above the order block was another entry opportunity. Just wasn't willing to trust the 1 minute and 2 minute just yet. But you guys can see we're still dropping. We're going for that external low here. So look how that 5 minute closed. So we still have that unicorn model up top. I just don't think we're going to retrace all the way back up to that. Let's see if there's another level that we want to create here and still be able to catch a short down to that external low. A fair value gap or something that we can take an entry off of. Okay, getting a lot of pullback here. That's a pretty strong pullback. I don't love shorting after seeing that strong of a bullish move. We have this fair value gap above the order block. Right now we can see the 1 minute really trying to pump though. I would need to see a nice reaction to get in the shorts here. Need to see a really good reaction. I don't trust it just yet. I'm not trusting it just yet. See, we are stalling in that fair value gap. If we can start to drop a little bit, I will look for an entry. See, we're still trying to pump a little bit. We're almost at the end of the hour. All right, we're going into silver bullet hour. We've grabbed sell side liquidity, so we do need to be careful. We still have that external low. You can see ES already took out that external low. We got some SMT now on NQ and ES at the lows. Okay, we're still seeing a reaction off this fair value gap above. I'm still waiting for that entry. We're still trying to pump, so I'm just going to be patient here. Going to be patient. It looks like we're trying to form a little reversal pattern here. We got SMT, we're forming a reversal pattern. We're going back to retest that 5 minute, or to test that 5 minute bearish breaker. Testing the 5 minute unicorn here. We can see this 15 minute isn't displacing anymore. Let's see what this 1 minute wants to do, if it wants to close with displacement above this high. No displacement, but it looks like we're trying to pump here. Okay, so we just touched into the 5 minute fair value gap above. We have the 5 minute breaker. But after seeing this kind of pump with SMT at the lows and us trying to displace this 1 minute, looks like a little bit of a reversal pattern at the low high, lower low. So we're about to close on the hourly candle. We're about to get into silver bullet. Hourly, still respecting the hourly bullish imbalance. So let's see, we still haven't displaced this high, but it looks like, you know, we gotta really wait and see if the longs are gonna step in. It looks like the longs are starting to step in here. Alright, we're now in silver bullet hour. We've grabbed sell side, so now we need to be careful if we're gonna go grab buy side. You might see the longs step in. I'm waiting to see if we're gonna displace the highs. Alright, this would be a 1 minute bullish breaker here. 1 minute unicorn. Yeah, so I think we're going for the highs here. We just got to be careful of what this 5 minute does. But retest this 5 minute bearish breaker here, what kind of reaction we get off of it. Okay, that was a pump. So now I'm starting to look for longs now. Unless we get a very strong reaction off this 5 minute, I'm looking for longs. So we have a 1 minute bullish unicorn reversal pattern here going into silver bullet. We grab sell side. Now we have this buy side liquidity up top. So let's see if we want to come down and test this order block, retest that bullish breaker. So we're not testing it. I want to see us trade down to get a good entry. We're just not wanting to retrace here. Yes, I would want to see it disrespected for sure. I would want to see it disrespected. But seeing the way we're moving and seeing us create the SMT at the lows and create that 1 minute reversal pattern, I'm starting to look to see if these longs are really going to step in. Right, notice how we grab sell side liquidity and we form that reversal pattern. We start to come right back up. And if we're going to range today like we did yesterday, right, then this would just create the bottom of that range and we'd probably try to range back up to the top. So we are stalling at that 5 minute right now. But it looks like we really want to push through. Let's see what the VIX is doing now. So YM is still dropping. The VIX has pulled back a lot. So it looks like these longs are really trying to push through that imbalance, but again, don't really have any entry here. The only entry so far has been off that 1 minute fair value gap, but I was just waiting for displacement of the highs. So see if the 5 minute wants to respect that imbalance and that breaker. And the other reason for this is look at how the 15 minute came all the way back up and didn't displace the low. No displacement of the low. So now we've created this range. Long wick up, long wick down. So we're seeing a lot of stalling here at that 5 minute bearish breaker. 5 minute candle is about to close here. We're pushing through. And like I said, it looks like these longs are trying to step back to the top of the range. Look at that strong push. Strong close, disrespecting the fair value gap. But at the same time, I don't really have a long entry from here. Right, you could look for a long entry off that 1 minute order block there to catch it up to these highs. But we're just kind of running away, not really finding an entry just yet, guys. Right, want to find those fair value gap entries during silver bullet, and if we just run away, we don't necessarily get the opportunity here to get those entries. We are right at VWAP, but it looks like we're trying to push through. So let's see if NQ offers us any kind of entry opportunity here. Closed above VWAP there. Let's see what kind of pullback we get. A lot of SMT here as well. Not really, actually. No, we don't really have much SMT. So NQ struggling to get through VWAP. Again, I still want to see these long step in from here. Just still don't really have an entry opportunity. Okay, there's that tap into the fair value gap. Small fair value gap below. We start to get a reaction. I will look for longs. Start to get a nice reaction. I'll look for longs from here. But not if we're going to move down aggressively. Got to see a reaction back to the upside if I'm going to long. Okay, we tested that order block below. I don't love getting in the longs right below VWAP. But we still look bullish here. We still have buy side to take. ES has created a bullish structure as well. Just want to be patient here. Wait for that reaction to get any entry. Again, we're still coming down. We can see the 5 minute. 5 minutes still respecting that breaker as of right now. We just want to be careful here. All right, but creating that reversal pattern, I still think these longs are trying to step in. Well, we could see this as a short opportunity for sure. This could be pullback for the shorts. But that was a pretty aggressive move to the upside. After taking sell side liquidity, to where I'm not convinced just yet. But I mean, if we see us really start to drop on that 5 minute, I would change my mind and go back in the shorts. But again, I'm still thinking long here until we can really see us dropping. So let's see how this 5 minute closes here. 5 minutes still going to close respecting that 5 minute bearish breaker. Alright, I'm testing out the longs, guys. I'm going to test out the longs here. Half a lot. Half a lot in the longs. 1957.50 entry. I'm going to keep my stop down below 40 ticks at 1947.50. I'm just going to test them out here. If we start to drop aggressively from this point, if we can't push through VWAP, I'll just get out. I'll just get out if we can't push through VWAP here. We're seeing a failure to push through. Let's see if we can continue to pump. Because we created that reversal pattern going into silver bullet, we took sell side liquidity. That's why I'm starting to think longs. Now we have a buy side target. Again, if we drop, I'll just cut my loss early. We'll see us close above VWAP again. It looks like we're trying to pump through. See if we can do it. All right, if I can't add into a full, I can't add into a full. Still waiting to add. So nice pump so far. This might be one where I just look to scalp and get out at the highs and then look for a re-entry in the future. Let's see if we can push through. Obviously, we're looking a little bit sketchy. These longs are trying to step in. I just want to see the longs. I want to see this 1 minute displace our previous high. At this point, I'm just going to move my stop to break even, guys. I'm just going to make it a risk-free trade because we're not seeing too much follow through yet. So I'm just going to make this a risk-free trade and see if this one wants to pump. I'm only in half a lot. I didn't want to add into a full yet. So my break even is right around VWAP, so I'm okay with just making this a risk-free trade here. Half a lot. See if we're going to run. Just because we're fighting right now. Just because there's still a possibility we come back down into that 5 minute. So I'd rather play it safe here. But it does look like we're trying to push through those highs right now. But we're not displacing, so it doesn't give me all the conviction in the world. So I'm just going to make it a risk-free trade. We're not really creating any other fair value gaps either, which I don't like to see. I want to see more fair value gaps created. Alright, so I mean, we hit 46, 45 ticks on that, so I'm out. I'm out here at break even, guys. Again, I just wanted to make that a risk-free trade. Like I said, there's still a possibility that we get pullback. It's gonna pump to our TP now, watch. Now we're just kind of struggling here. We're kind of moving up and down. Really want to see us close above that breaker. I want to see us close above that breaker. So far, we're not really doing that. We did create that BPR down below on the 5 minute, which is another reason. Kind of wanted to move my stop to break even just in case we want to retrace down to that BPR. Okay, but we can see that we're really struggling up here to push through. ES is still below VWAP. But now we have the VIX really moving down here. When the VIX moves down, I expect NQ to move up. So a few reasons why I got in the longs, guys. One, the 15 minute failed to displace the lows, and we started to pump. 5 minute completely rebalanced that imbalance below, trying to move past that breaker. 1 minute created a bullish breaker down here, traded into it, and pumped. And now silver bullet hour, we typically see one side of liquidity taken, and then opposing liquidity gets targeted. That's why. Okay, but we're still respecting this 5 minute bearish breaker. We're still below VWAP. That's why I moved my stop to break even, guys. A few reasons. Oh yeah. 4 minute completely displaced that breaker. 5 minutes still closed inside. Let's see, I still think we're trying to pump here, guys. But so far we have failed to do so. So I'm going to wait for another entry. But look how this 15 minute candle closed. Look at that 15 minute coming all the way back up. So, like I said before, we might just see a range up and down. Today, we might just see a range. So now we're kind of back to the top. So maybe, we might see a bounce back from the top of this range down to the bottom. We're not really moving much right now, so I do want to wait to get another entry. So we're not creating any fair value gaps or anything, so that's another reason I'm waiting. Right, during Silver Bullet, we want to see those 1 minute fair value gaps created. And right now we're not creating any. So you got to know on what trades you want to keep your risk in and what trades you want to just make it risk free. That was one of those trades I just wanted to make risk free because we were battling a little too much. Again, we might still see these longs really pump from here. Let's see if they want to break through. We got this liquidity level up top. All right, we're just seeing some chop now. We're just seeing a lot of chop at this point. We're still sitting above VWAP and ES is sitting right below. So I'm just going to wait for us to get out of this chop. I don't want to take any entries in this. A lot of long wicks on the 5 minute. So I'll wait for another entry until we can actually start to move a little bit. So we're still ranging up. When I see this type of price action and we're not creating any fair value gaps on the 1 minute during Silver Bullet, I'm not really looking for entries. Especially when we're battling to break through this 5 minute bearish breaker. If we can close above that bearish breaker, that's when I'm really looking for another entry in the longs. But as long as we're staying below, I'm waiting. Okay, this type of chop right here is not where I like to get entries. Okay, I had my entry from here. And we can just see we pulled all the way back, come back up, all the way back. Yes, Silver Bullet is an ICT concept. I have a video on it if you'd like to check it out. It's under our educational recordings tab. Again, Silver Bullet, all it is, guys, is taking liquidity on one side and then targeting opposing liquidity. So like down here, we took out sell side, we form a reversal, and now we look for those 1 minute fair value gaps to come target the highs, right? The opposing liquidity. And if today is going to be a ranging day, we're not really going to see, we're probably not going to see a lot of external liquidity grabs today. Yeah, I try to keep my educational videos a little bit shorter because there's so many of those videos that I've watched in the past that are like hours long, and I'm like, you have to skip through so much content and so much rambling to really get to the meat, to what you're trying to learn, and I'd rather get right to the point. Okay, so the 5 minute close, we displaced the breaker, guys. So now I'm expecting these longs really to step in here. Let's see if we want to trade down into that balanced price range down below. We obviously are at the top of the range, but I do think these longs are going to try to really explode here. All right, I still don't see an entry though, but if you want to get an entry from VWAP, you could. I just want to wait for an actual fair value gap or some kind of entry to form for us to get out of this chop. Like I said, this could be the point where we just start to go for those highs. But using our fib, right, we look at this range, we would want to see retracement probably back down into that BPR before getting an entry, especially when we're wicking like this. Maybe wait for some kind of power of 3 setup or something. Some kind of entry. But I do like that we closed above the breaker. So even when you displace a high, sometimes we do still come back and retrace into a level like this. It's not too low, especially because of this range that we're creating. Like, let's say we form the high here. We might try to retrace back down to a discount of that range and come back down into that BPR. Again, yeah, no problem. I still think we're about to explode here. I think we're about to go up for that liquidity. But I still don't have an entry that I want to take. Just with all this ranging, I'm not ready to be aggressive yet. Not ready to be aggressive. Yep, we just tapped into that 1 hour, the bearish fair value gap, into that 15-minute bearish fair value gap. Again, we're back into that opening range. So ES still has not broken through VWAP over here. So I'm really just going to be patient here, guys. I'm going to be patient. Again, not down much. Right, a lot of room to trade. Just want to wait for a good setup. Yeah, I mean, if this is going to be a seek and destroy type of day, we probably will try to come grab this buy side liquidity and then reverse right back down. And that's when we'd be looking for shorts. Again, when we don't really have any news today, we only have one news event. It's not for another few hours. We have FOMC tomorrow. I don't think we're going to see a lot of expansion in our market today, guys. I think we're going to see more ranging. Right, which is another reason I wasn't ready to take the shorts here either, because during these types of days, we don't typically see a lot of external liquidity runs. And this low down here is that external liquidity. So, right, the ideal entry would have been this 1 minute fair value gap bullish breaker, but I really wanted to wait for us to close above that high before getting an entry. And by the time we closed above, we just ran. So it wasn't an entry I was going to take, especially still being below that 5 minute bearish breaker. So it's good to look back at these trades, guys, and look back at these moves and say, is that a trade that I would have taken? No, it's a trade. We watched this happen. It's not a trade I would have taken, and it worked out, but it's still not something I would look for. Not seeing displacement on a 1 minute time frame, guys. That's like the bare minimum for me, is at least seeing displacement on a 1 minute. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm expecting today to be a ranging day, where I don't think we're going to really pick a direction today. I think we're waiting for FOMC to pick the direction for us. Right, but we can kind of start to identify, right, once we take out this high up here, are we going to come right back down for sell side? Well, you know, the market really just does its own thing. It's funny how it works. Yeah, I mean, you see the economy at one of the worst points we've been in a long time, and yet our market is trading extremely high. So, I mean, our tech companies are still doing good, which is another reason for that, right? The NASDAQ is mostly our tech companies. So when those are doing good, we're going to see NQ do good as well. Okay, so we're still ranging. Even though we came up and displaced, we're still doing this ranging. And we got strong 5 minute displacement on that last one. We can't seem to come back. We can't seem to grab this liquidity just yet. So I'm just going to continue to be patient here and just wait and see if we want to come up and grab buy side and then try to catch a reversal back down. It is very, very slow. We'll probably see a lot of slow price action today. Yep, YM is still moving up. YM is testing VWAP now. It's going up closer. Just want to see what kind of reaction we get after sweeping this liquidity level. Yeah, I mean, typically we'll see at least one kind of move. And then we'll see us create that range, and then we'll see us range back and forth for the whole day. YM is the Dow futures. Okay, so I'm just waiting for us to sweep that liquidity level here. Yes, finally got above VWAP. You can see we're trading inside that 1 hour. I mean, at the highest, we might see NQ come up and sweep London high. I don't know if we're really going to move up that far. I mean, we can see right now, even though we're moving up, this is the slowest move up, right? It's really going slow. Okay, so now we've swept that liquidity. So let's see if we're going to get a continuation or if now we're going to see a reversal back down. This is when I would start thinking about shorting. Would be up here. Okay, so we're starting to see that pullback already after sweeping that liquidity level. Still got to wait for confirmation. I'm not just going to jump into the shorts to jump in. We're obviously still in a bullish trend. Let's see how this 15-minute candle closes. All right. The shorts are going to come in. We don't want to see displacement of this high on the 15-minute. Which we almost got displacement. Pretty strong bullish candle there. And we might see these longs continue to step in and try to go grab London high. So let's see. We didn't get displacement, but we're still... That was a pretty strong 15-minute candle there. So let's see what we want to do here. Hopefully we'll get some kind of setup. And this price action still right here. Even though we've been moving up, we haven't created any fair value gaps. Not really any good price action on this move. $87.50 is just these highs up here, that liquidity level. It's that opening range high. Got you. Okay, so we can see we're still, from once we took that liquidity level, we've just been kind of stalling right under. personally just don't like how slow ES moves. I mean, there's times where if NQ is really bad and ES looks really good, I will still trade ES. I just personally like the way NQ moves more. I like a little bit faster movement. Okay, so we're still trying to move up. Again, still no entry opportunities with this slow price action. So let's see if we are trying to go up and grab London high up top. Even if I wanted to long right now, guys, there's nothing. Look at this whole move up. There's no fair value gaps created here. No solid entries that I would want to take. Nothing good. Okay, so we're still sitting below that high. We still haven't displaced it. So still just waiting. Let's see if we want to start moving down from here. If we're going to create any opportunity. Again, with this slow of movement, we're probably not going to create a lot of good setups. Where's the 3 minute fair value gap? Over here. Yeah, up here we trade into. Yeah, we have these resistance levels up top. Still have that hourly imbalance that we're in. So I'm starting to look for shorts. Now, this is that point where I'd want to see a reversal. But are we going to offer any type of opportunity? And again, I still would want to see us really move down and displace the lows. We've only taken 2 trades so far. First one, I tested out the shorts and just didn't get the timing right. It was before we ended up dropping. So I got stopped out there with half a lot. And then we ended up dropping. Second one was that break-even trade. So I mean, we're still in this 1 minute bullish trend here. So we might still be trying to go target that London high. But again, there's nothing that I would take right now. Not enough volume. I don't like this chop. Gotta see something better set up. But guys, this is expected. I talked about it this morning coming into today. That today's probably going to be a slow day. Probably going to see some ranging. So far, we've seen both. That's pretty much how every day before FOMC goes. So, I mean, yeah, if we held on to that original trade, it would have been good. We would have caught a win. But I just don't like the price action, so I wasn't really wanting to stay in. Is that that original entry that we got, or is that a different entry? Okay. There we go, deep. Good job. Alright, so on these time frames, it really looks like we're wanting to drop here. 5 minute looks bearish. 1 minute starting to look bearish, but still no entries. Still no break of structure. Still no confirmation for me. VIX is heading down right now. So I'm not really looking to short this just yet. There's a possibility we see one more pump and we go target London high. I think that's the only other. I think that's the highest. I think that's the highest that we'll go. If the long step in, I think that's the highest we'll go. I don't think we'll push for yesterday's high personally. I think that we'll maybe try to take out one more liquidity level during the silver bullet, and then we'll come right back down. Good morning, Honest Money. Yeah, it does look like a little bit of a market maker. Smart money reversal. And that London high would be the top there. Yeah, I mean, once we drop, we're going to come probably all the way back down to the bottom of the range. So that's pretty much what I'm waiting for here. Just probably just looking to swing the shorts all the way down. What does TOTK mean? Am I just dumb? Oh, Zeus's community? No, I'm not a part of it. No, but I know who that is, obviously. No, I'm not a part of it. Personally, the way I feel is I've done my learning, I have my strategy. I don't really like to go learn I don't really not learn. I like to learn, but I don't like to go. I'm not really a part of any other communities or anything. But no, I've watched his videos before. I have watched his videos. He's got good stuff. Nothing happened with us. Danny was just getting ready to start the prop firm. It was time for me to break off and do my own thing with ICT. So we both agreed that it was time for me to move on, do my own thing. Yeah, he's dropping a prop firm. Again, I'll be promoting it for him. I'll be promoting it for him. Yeah, I love that mindset. I love that mindset, Deep. I love it. I'd love to see it. Okay, so again, guys, like I said, we see NQ is just moving up to London High right now. NQ is just going to take out that liquidity. You're almost to that level, getting closer. Yeah, we're not too far from yesterday high. Not too far. Again, on a day like today, I don't really want to see. I mean, we could grab that external high. I kind of wanted to see us grab London High and come back down, range all the way back down to the bottom. Okay, but as I was saying, so we've called out both of the moves today. Obviously, the first one, the timing was just off. A lot of volatility. Second one, I just didn't see an entry I wanted to take throughout that move. The only entry I had that I thought was going to be good was here, and then we just started to chop, and I just wanted to get out of it. Oh, okay. Well, interesting. I'll have to check it out. Right, but this is that concept, right? That smart money reversal down here that I talk about. Bullish breaker after sweeping sell side liquidity. We see a reversal almost every time we see this pattern form on the 1 minute time frame after sweeping a liquidity level. So we saw that happen. Long stepped in. Didn't expect us to come all the way to London High. Yeah, and the SMT on ES in YM as well. Another confluence. Yeah, so we still have the SMT right now. We've had SMT for a little while. ES still can't even break London low. Can't even get past these highs. When we see NQ moving this slow, we kind of have to expect ES to move even slower. Okay, so we're almost to that London high level. Closing with displacement. A 15-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame. We got 15 minutes left on the hourly candle. So if the shorts are going to come in, we would need to see us sweep that high and really start to pull back and get a reversal pattern at the top. So I'm just waiting for that to happen right now. Yep, that market maker. Finish that market maker up to the top. And then come right back down. Patience we must have. 5-minute. Reverse head and shoulders. We're at. Come out down here. Yeah, we didn't really see us trade back down at all though, and create that other shoulder down here. This is the first fair value gap I've seen formed in a long time. This is the first one I've seen in pretty much this entire move. One down here, we never touch into it. Yeah, that 1 minute, that's the first one I've seen. Okay, so we're sweeping that liquidity now. We have major SMT at the highs. And now I want to see this reversal start to step in. This is when I want to start to see the reversal. I don't want to just jump into the shorts to jump in. I want to see an actual reversal pattern here. Well, that's good. As long as we're building that discipline. As long as we're building that discipline, that's all that matters. Okay, so we sweep liquidity. Now I'm starting to look for a reversal. Now we just need to see a break of structure down. We have major SMT. So here's one of two things that can happen. We're going to see that reversal now in NQ. Or because ES is lagging so much, NQ might wait for ES to come all the way back up and take out London High, which means NQ would just slowly range up until ES does that. One of two things that could happen here. I'd want to see the reversal step in. We have to be aware that when ES is this low and has not taken out those liquidity levels, we might still see NQ. We might still see NQ push up. So that's why I wait for an actual reversal pattern to take us back down. As of right now, we're not doing that. We're still trending up here. So yeah, on this whole move, this is the only fair value gap that we have actually used that the price is traded into and bounced from. That's it. On the 1 minute, that's it. It's the only one. During Silver Bullet, that's pretty much the only entry we're looking for. And we're looking off of order blocks too. But there still wasn't really any good order block entries either. Alright, and we're not going to get in the longs at the top right when we're about to sweep buy-side liquidity. So this one doesn't really matter anyways. Unless the longs are really going to continue. Looks like we might be going for yesterday's high. I'm just taking out the high. We create a 1 minute breaker. I'm going to start getting rid of some of these levels. Kind of clear the charts a little bit. Which 1 minute breaker are you referring to? A bullish breaker at the highs? So guys, on days like this, really just have to wait for when that volume is going to step in. You're not going to have a lot of opportunities. I'm not going to have a lot of great entry opportunities on a day like today. But you can also just ride with the trend until the trend is broken. Yeah, I mean, we're almost at all-time highs. Let's go to daily. All right, we got all-time highs up here. So more of a bullish move than I expected, kind of like yesterday. Still no entry opportunities right now that I'm even wanting to take. Even on the 5-minute time frame, we've created a few fair value gaps and never traded back into them. So, yeah, that's just something that when I look at, it's just whatever. I didn't see my entry, so why would I get in? Yeah, so we're still slowly trending up. We just took out yesterday's high. Like I said, sometimes, excuse me, sometimes what we see happen is on ES. If ES is still super far away from taking out those highs that NQ is taking out, sometimes we'll see NQ just continue to trend up until ES takes out that high. Yeah, today would be an insane day to take out all-time highs. I mean, we're not very far away from that. Really, on the day before FOMC to take out all-time highs is kind of crazy. Would be very surprising. I would be very, very surprised to see that happen. I'm really just waiting for us, to break this trend, reverse, catch it back down, and we can look at the range on the 5-minute or the 15, right from the swing low down here up to the highs. Use our fib, look for that 50% level, look to take it back into a discount. So we will see what happens here. I mean, on the day, guys, I'm really barely down anything right now. One loss with half a lot. So I just want to see something set up. If we can catch that reversal, would be great. Ride it all the way down. So as our original trade, it was right around market open, and we wanted to short. I saw those shorts stepping in, so I tried to short off of this fair value gap here, and we ended up trading all the way up. And then we started to dump, and by the time we broke out of the opening range down here, I wasn't trying to trade the breakout, so I didn't get a re-entry. So this was that one, only got in half a lot. So we had the right idea, but I really just wanted to see us drop from here, and we wanted to push up a little bit more. Look at that 4 hour. So we're still in this 4 hour range here. We're just going back to the top. Just going back to the top of that range. Very strong 1 hour candle. But we've seen this before. strong bullish trend on the hour, and then we came right back down. Strong bullish trend, come right back down. Still creating higher lows though. So still a bullish trend. Yeah, no, I will not be shorting until we see an actual break of structure or a break of the trend. And look how steep that trend is though. Very steep trend. No, we're not forming any 1 minute fair value gaps. We've created one. We've created two. So we have one bullish one here. One bullish fair value gap. But I'm still not looking to long while we just took out yesterday's high. But guys, we've created literally one here and one down here. Somewhere down here that we never traded into. Right here. That's it. That's how you know that the trend is not a very, I mean, you could have traded this trend the whole way up, but it's not a very solid silver bullet move, in my opinion, with not really a lot of entry opportunities. I mean, if you're still wanting to long at this point, this would be that other long opportunity. I'm not trying to long right now while we just swept yesterday's high. We're about to end the hour here. Again, if you want to keep trading the trend, you can. You can keep longing this. I'm going to wait for this hourly to close. Yeah, exactly. I'm not looking to long at the very top of of this type of range. I'm just waiting for some kind of reversal here. Take us back down, rebalance the market. Getting closer to London close in the next 30 minutes. Yeah, pretty weird move today. Just weird price action in general. And we're still trying to go. We're about to close on the hours, so just be careful here. Be careful. Let's see if this hourly wants to close above. Pretty crazy hourly candle there. I mean, strong displacement. A little bit of displacement on the hour. Displacement on the 15. On the 5. Still need to watch out for a possible reversal. But like I said, if you're wanting to trade the range or trade the trend, every time we retest that trend, you can look for a long. And basically what you would do is you would keep longing until you see price break structure or break the trend. Again, I'm not looking to long at the very top of this level. Personally, not looking to do that. Yeah, I agree. I think we'll see a pretty big drop. Again, we're still wanting to move up a little bit. We're still fighting that trend break. And just look at this range. If this is the top of the range, very top here, all the way down to here, got all the way down to VWAP is that's that equilibrium. So we got a long ways. So this is when I would start thinking about shorting if we can break structure. You got to be careful. We have a 5-minute imbalance here. We still haven't displaced that previous low. But this is that pattern that I would be looking for. Yeah, drop into the discount. And so that discount would be down here at VWAP. Again, we have to be careful when we're still trending up and we come into a 5-minute bullish for value gap. Still want to see us really move down. We still have not broken that trend. We haven't broken structure. Let's see if we want to break. See if we want to break now. Need to see a clear break of structure. Okay, we have that high, low, higher, high forming. Just need to see us drop. You can see us bouncing off that 5-minute bullish for value gap down below. So we would really need to push through that. Yeah. They fixed my problem from yesterday. So that was nice. Okay, here we go. We're starting to get the break of structure. Let's see if there's any follow through. So this is when I start looking for entry opportunities. All right, it would be nice to see us displace that 5-minute. Looks like we're really moving down. Now I'm starting to look for entries. Order block there. Again, I'm not going to chase these shorts. I'm going to look for an actual retracement move after breaking structure to catch them down. Okay, we just touched into another 5-minute bullish imbalance. We've got a lot of imbalances to push through. So it's not always a sure thing, guys, of a reversal. We have to be careful of that. Let's see if we create a fair value gap here on the 1-minute and possibly on the 2-minute. Okay, so I'm not going to chase these shorts. I'm waiting for, we're breaking the trend finally. But now I'm waiting for us to get some retracement off a good level that we can look to short. Again, this might be something I'm looking just to swing all the way down. All right, all the way down to here, 200 ticks or so. Not looking to rush an entry though. Well, we can keep a stop well above the high. Well above that order block. Close to the high. If we can get an entry up here. Nice close on the 5-minute. We didn't displace that 5-minute below, but that is a very strong bearish candle there. So I'm just waiting for us to tap into that fair value gap, maybe bounce off that order block, look for an entry in the shorts. We still haven't touched into it yet. You could look to get in the shorts now, but I want to get a better entry here. I'm not going to chase down here. Let's look at ES. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we see that fair value gap created. So I'm probably going to go in with 2 contracts to start on this one if we can get a nice reaction. And then kind of go from there. Okay, so there's that fair value gap. Just want to see us bounce off of it. Don't want to see us push right through. We're moving with too much bullish momentum right now for me to get an entry just yet. Way too much momentum here. That's a good close. Alright, I just got an entry in the shorts there, guys. I got an entry. If this is going to be the reversal, this has got to be it here. Okay, so my entry is at 12175. I'm going to just keep my stop well above this order block. I'm going to give it room, 45 ticks, 19133. Okay, so like I said, I'm in 2 contracts. So we'll see what happens here. We've already moved down pretty good. We could, look to take first TP around the lows. Again, we have this bearish breaker that we formed. Let's see what that standard deviation shows us. We already hit first. We could look to take TP around our second standard deviation. Around 70 ticks or so. We could look for a 1-to-1 around 45. We've almost hit a 1-to-1 already. Alright, I don't want to be greedy. I do want to take my profit when it's there. Again, I want to let this one ride a little bit. There we go. Guys, I'm just going to take out a contract here. I'm just going to sell one. I'm going to put my stop at break even. Alright, winning trade. I don't care if I sold early. I'm willing to just I want to take profit when it's there today. So I sold around 60 ticks. And now my stop's at break even. And I'll let this one ride all the way down. All the way down to around VWAP, around 200 ticks. And again, if I get stopped out, I'll look for a re-entry. Right, so I'm just going to let one contract ride, see if we can catch about 200 ticks out of it. I wanted to take my profit after that aggressive drop. Pretty solid setup so far. And I might even look to add back into my position if there's another level to add back in at. The only issue with doing that is then your entry starts to move down a little bit. So good trade so far. So far we've caught 69 ticks on it. Right, so that equilibrium would be all the way down here for about 224 ticks away. But again, want to take my profit when it's there. Don't want to be greedy on this one. I don't care if I, don't make a bunch of money on this trade. Doesn't really matter to me. I just want to catch some profit. Get green on the day. See if this one will drop, because even if I'm in one contract on this and we can drop 200 plus ticks, that's pretty good profit there. So let's see if we can get that drop. We continue to break structure. We're forming this bearish trend. We had that reversal pattern. We've almost hit our second standard deviation on this. 5 minute looks good. We keep displacing these imbalances. Hopefully we don't want to trade all the way back up to my break even. Again, if we do, I'll still look for another re-entry. Testing that 1 minute bearish order block there. Got to see a reaction off that 1 minute. So hopefully this is really that reversal. It looks like it's gonna be. Just got to see us respect these levels above. So I don't like that close, but we still have that 1 minute bearish order block there. So we'll see what we do here. See if we can get that drop. Kind of stalling here. I mean, our entry was really solid, guys. Our entry is really solid. We waited for that break. We waited for that retest of the order block in 1 minute for value gap. Got that entry. Saw that drop right after. Took a little bit of profit off. So now I'm just letting this runner run. My entry was at 19,121.75. So that's where my break even is at right now. Full TP, we're looking for all the way down to a discount. So I'm either going to sell right above VWAP around 200 ticks, like 1971.75, or I'm going to hold it down until we get into a discount at 1965.75. Again, we're not really continuing that push down right now. We're getting some pullback. So let's see what happens. Want this to be the reversal, the retracement move. Don't want us to push up for the longs again. Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility. I still want to see. That's why I would still look for a reentry. I almost want to add into my position. The only thing I don't want to do right now is add into it and then price comes up and then stops me out at break even. Still want to give this one a chance. But yeah, I mean, there's a possibility we come back up to my break even, stop me out, and I would look for a re-entry at that point. As long as we're not pushing through all these levels up top. Look at that 15-minute. Still have that 15-minute imbalance down below. Still got a few 5-minute imbalances below. Alright, I'm liking that movement there. I'm liking that movement. I just added one more. I don't like where it moved my break even. It moved my break even very far down. All the way to 19,114.75. So it was a risky add there. Doesn't look like we're going to get that drop just yet. We'll see. If we can get that drop now, that would be great. It looked like we were starting to make that drop, so I wanted to add one more. So we'll see. My stop is now moved up, or it moved down to 1450. So that's my new stop loss. Again, I'll look to scale out of that position once we get another drop. So I don't hate the ad. I just don't like doing this and making my stop move all the way down. But again, let's say we stop me out. I would still look for another re-entry in the shorts as long as we're continuing this bearish trend. Let's see if we can get that drop here. Okay, we displaced the lows on the 1 minute. Okay, maybe just look to sell once we can push down into this imbalance, maybe down to a third standard deviation. Hopefully we don't want to come stop me out first. So if we can drop again, I'll sell that other contract I added down on third standard deviation, around 114 ticks from our original entry. So I'll probably look to sell it here if we can drop down to that level. Like 1993.25. Just trying to maximize profits off this move. If we're not going to make a full drop all the way down, trying to just maximize profits here. We're not moving down too aggressively yet. Okay, we're now about to tap into that 5-minute imbalance. Let's see if we can push down. See if we can make that push down. I have a limit order at 1993.25 for that other contract I added. Is that third standard deviation? So if we can push through, we have to be careful. We just tapped into that 15-minute and the 5-minute imbalance. So again, if you want to take off more profit here, you can. I'm being a little more risky, trying to see if we can break through that level. So far, from our original entry, we've caught 89 ticks. It's been a slow move, but we're still moving. Okay, I'm honestly gonna move one of my stop losses. I'm gonna put one stop loss into profit. I'm gonna put one stop loss at 19, 110, 50. Keep the other one around break even, or at break even. And let's see if we can go drop and take out my next TP at the third standard deviation there. Here we go. Can we do it here, guys? I'm gonna move that stop down now a little bit more. I have one stop at 19,109.25. Just above that 1 minute order block, I've got one stop loss up here. And then I've got my other stop loss for my other contract at break even, which has moved down. Let's see if we can get that move. Let's see if we can push down to that third standard deviation. I don't want to see us bounce from this 15 and 5 minute imbalance. So one thing I'm worried about is us starting to bounce from here. I want to see us push through that level. So far, it's been a good add. Okay, but this might be a point where I just want to take off one of those contracts. I'm willing to leave it at where it's at. So I have one stop loss at 19,109.25, which looks like we might go target it here. Let's see. Let's see what we do here. Looks like we're going to maybe target that stop loss. Take out one of my contracts. Hopefully it doesn't move my stop down. Oh man, okay, so my entry moved all the way down then. So I'm right around my break even at this point now. So I might scale out here if we don't get a drop. If we can't get a drop now, I'll scale out. I'll sell everything. Just because my break even point moved down pretty low after I sold that contract. Alright, so I'm just gonna get out. So again, not a crazy profit on that trade because we didn't really move much. That's why I was trying to maximize my profit by adding back into that position. So not bad. I'm out completely. Again, if you guys want to hold this position, you can. Overall, we did catch 98 ticks. Solid trade still. But we are getting that bounce off that 5 minute and that 15 minute there, which I don't like very much. So I'm back in the green. Not crazy profits because I wasn't scaling in heavy at all. And sometimes I'll try to do that, guys, on trades like this. I really just want to add in, take profit, add back in. Try to catch that drop just to catch more profit on this type of trade when we're not really moving too much. But I'll take the win. A win is a win here. A win is a win for me. So let's see. We can see us really bouncing off that 15-minute bullish order block there. Or bullish fair value gap. 5-minute bullish fair value gap. So we got to be careful. Especially when we didn't really drop too aggressively. But again, we caught that reversal at the right time, or at least the retracement at the right time. I don't know if this is going to end up being that reversal. We are getting closer to London close, so I wanted to see us really move all the way down to a discount. Still going to look out for possible re-entries. So who got in that trade with me? Did anybody get in that trade? Few people. Yeah, I mean, I know we weren't offered a ton of reward on that. But still, I mean, at the bottom, guys, we still caught 98 ticks, right? 99 ticks pretty much. So still a solid entry even if we were moving slow. Green is green. Green is green. Alright, so I don't like that we're bouncing from that 5 and 15 minute imbalance. Wanted to see us continue to push down through that. So still waiting to see if there's any re-entry opportunity or if we're going to trend back up. Alright, but this is why you take profit, guys. Especially on a move like this. It's a slow move. Just take profit when it's there. You don't, you don't want to get in a trade that hits almost 100 ticks, not take profit, and then it comes back and stops you out. I know sometimes you want to let it run, but you got to take profit when it's there. Got to take the profit when it's there. Back into that 1 minute order block that we bounced off of earlier. I just really don't like this slow price action. Yeah, and if we pushed down through this 15 minute, I mean, we would have definitely gone back down to a discount. We just couldn't push through. So, yeah, I mean, we're leading into lunch. We're right around that London reversal time. See how much pullback we're gonna get here. If this was the pullback, or if this is just some retracement here to continue that move down. I hope you don't get stopped here. Let's hope that move goes down now. So we still have that 1 minute fair value gap. Still have that 1 minute order block that we bounced from earlier, 1 minute breaker. Let's see, what's keeping me from getting back in, guys, is that 15 and 5 minute bullish fair value gap. It's my pleasure, of course. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, so I mean, at this point, I don't really love getting a re-entry here. I want to see the shorts continue, but after seeing that bounce, I don't know how much longer we're going to continue down. The VIX is still heading down right now. So we'll see what happens here. Out of that 5 minute close. Five-minute close weak to the upside. Got a 5 minute inverse here. See what type of reaction we get off that 5 minute inverse. I mean, I still think there's a strong possibility that we keep heading down. I still think there's that possibility, especially going into 11:30. But when I see a bounce like that from a 15 and 5 minute imbalance, I'm not going to rush into another entry. Yeah, so hopefully we grab profit. Hopefully we moved our stops into profit or around break even. Should have been a winning trade. Made back any loss that you took. Like if you took that first loss with half a lot, you should have made that back. Should have made some profit on top of that. At least I hope so. Let's see if these shorts want to come back in. All right, shorts are stepping back in here. Maybe not. Bouncing from that 1 minute fair value gap. I wanted to see. I mean, this 5 minute inverse fair value gap is still being respected right now. We're seeing those wicks up, not showing any strength to the upside. Just chopping right now. Looks like these longs, we'll see, guys. We're just chopping. We'll see if these longs want to step in and disrespect these bullish levels, these bearish levels. Back into that 1 minute fair value gap that we took our entry off of earlier. Yep. So we're getting a lot of chop right now. See if this 5 minute wants to close respecting the inverse or not. Yep, that's typically when I look for that next move. Yeah, it's that lunchtime macro. Lunchtime macro, typically, we'll see us kind of move slow. All right, we are at that lunchtime reversal, so I do want to give it a few more minutes to see if we're gonna make any move in the next few minutes. If not, I'll take a break, come back around that lunchtime. All right, look for any setups. Okay, we're about to get that 30-minute close, 15-minute close. So not a very strong move up there on the 15-minute. Okay, 5-minute disrespected the inverse there. So we're just chopping. Yeah, well, there we go. Don't rush. Wait for that perfect setup. Trade micros, and you'll be good. You'll be good. Congrats. You're almost there. So I'll give it just like a few more minutes. Nothing happens, I'll stay out and I'll wait for that lunchtime. See if we're going to get a lunchtime move. Okay, we're pumping. We are pumping. Well, it looks like we might be going for all-time highs here. Unless this is just a power of 3 move, but we'll see. We tested that 1 minute bearish breaker. So we'll see if this is going to be a fake out power of 3 or if this is the move where we're trying to go take all-time highs. Again, we might just be ranging and chopping for the next hour. Yeah, guys, so I'll probably just wait until that lunchtime macro around 9:20 Pacific. I might just wait to take another trade or look for another setup around that time. I'm gonna give it some time, take a little break, come back, and then I'll let you guys know if I'm gonna take a trade. We also have education today at 9:30. So we might even still be looking for a setup during that education time. So I will see you guys soon. Appreciate you all. Everybody, I hope you're green. We should be green. Continue to focus on that risk management, guys. All right, God bless everyone. I'll see you all for education, or if you hear from me soon about any other trade setups I'm trying to take. Of course, guys, appreciate you. That's how we stay patient. It's how we come back. It's how we come back and take a win. All right, guys. Appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Peace.